Hey everyone, Alessandro here. So today we're gonna talk about retargeting or remarketing for hotels and why it is so much important. I used to say that if you don't do retargeting, it's actually a suicide, and I really mean it. Now, retargeting is the most powerful marketing weapon that you can put your hands on for driving more revenue and driving more direct bookings. Although less than 10% of hotels do that. And I know that because even though there is not an official research that states that, I've run a specific test myself that confirmed these numbers. And by the way, I will share the result of these tests in the next days. It's just that I'm still working on it. So what is retargeting and why is that so important? I mean, I can tell you many different reasons, but I want to be practical. And by practical, I mean that I want to show you something that you can have access to right away. And this tool stands in your Google Analytics account. It's a report that by itself already explains the importance of retargeting. So if you have access to your Google Analytics account, you can head to this report, which is under Audience, Behavior, Frequency and Recency. In this report, you have a couple of dimensions, but the most important one is the count of session. By the way, I've talked about this dimension in my series Google Analytics for Hotels. But the important thing is, what is count of session? Count of session simply counts how many times each user has visited your site. So count of session 1 means that in this case, 604 people visited the website only once in that given period. 81 visited the website twice in that given period, and so on and so forth. And besides, why am I showing you this? Because these numbers, the way you're looking at right here, right now, are actually going to be the same for your hotel. And I know that because, I mean, I've visited more than 350 Google Analytics accounts for hotels in the last 3 to 4 years. And they all look more or less the same, meaning that count of sessions 1 actually outperform all other values. And what does that mean? That on average, 70% up to 75%, sometimes it may be a little bit lower, but the average is always 70% of your website visitors visit your website only once, do not perform any booking, but bounce, meaning that they leave your website without making any further action. But what happened after that? Well, they never come back. And that's why remarketing is so important. So how do we deal with those users who actually leave the website, our website, without making any booking? We actually have two ways. And usually what we do is by using the urgency trigger, meaning that we try to bombard all those prospects, all those visitors, with so many reasons as to why they should be booking directly in that very moment. Meaning promo codes, discounts, special offers, sense of urgency messages, sense of scarcity messages, persuasive messages, and so on and so forth. But the point is, if they visited your website, if they have been visiting your website for the first time, highly chances that they're not ready yet to book. And therefore, all those urgency messages will not relate to the booking phase they are at in their specific customer journey. To use a metaphor, all those messages, it's like walking into a bar and asking a complete stranger to marry you. Instead, that's what retargeting is for. And that's why I love it so much. Objectively, because it works. Because it respects the customer journey. The customer journey, everyone talks about it and no one respects it. Retargeting is your marketing weapon that allows you to respect the customer journey. So what is remarketing or retargeting again? Because the two terms are kind of interchangeable. Now, remarketing is a marketing strategy that allows you to connect with people who previously interacted with your website, already visited your website or Facebook page, for example, but didn't make any reservation. Now, how do you do retargeting? Well, you actually have two tools. It's either Google or Facebook. Now, you can use either or. Me personally, I prefer Facebook simply because I love them both, but I love Google more from data tracking perspective, and I love more Facebook from a marketing perspective, especially when it comes to targeting to people. Facebook is absolutely a miracle, a super miracle weapon that we have in our hand. So this is how, visually speaking, retargeting works. And by the way, I'm using Facebook for the given example, but Google works the exact same way. So there is a prospect. The prospect who potentially is interested in your services, meaning your hotel, visits your website. More likely he bounces, meaning he leaves the website, but before leaving, there is a little piece of code which is called, in this case, Facebook. So it is called Facebook Pixel that gets installed into this browser. All right, and therefore, after bouncing, as soon as it opens up his Facebook page or Instagram page or whatsoever, or Messenger, because those are all tools that are being part of the Facebook network, well, then Facebook displays the retargeting ad. If you think about it, this is also a super nice weapon for you to drive more direct bookings, because you can eventually trigger, for example, discounts at a later stage through your retargeting ad, and the OTAs will never even be able to retrieve it. So it's a sort of opaque bidding that you can do without you fearing to lose your ranking position with any OTAs. Now this is an example of retargeting campaign, simple as that. I'm pretty sure that you have already seen that many other times. Essentially, I visited this hotel website before, and after that, as soon as I open my Facebook page, I've been retargeted, meaning that this hotel is using Facebook to showing me this retargeting ad. By the way, this is not even a good example in the sense that from a copywriting perspective, in my opinion, that will be way better. And that's why, of course, having doing retargeting campaigns does not necessarily mean being successful. Of course, you need to do it effectively. And that's why in the next videos, I'm going to show you many different ways of doing retargeting. As a matter of fact, not all website visitors are the same. Think about it. Me or user A visiting your website only once for 10 seconds is different than user B visiting your website 3 times and spending on average of 5 minutes each session on your website. This is what retargeting is for and why it is so important to narrow down to specific details. So stay tuned, because in the next videos we're going to do exactly that, and we're going to see exactly that, how to do better retargeting by targeting specifically based on users' behavior on the website. Stay tuned, stay in touch, keep safe, and I'll see you soon.